Hello and welcome everybody! This is your host, Learbach, and you're just in time for a new Let's Play. What are we Let's Playing this time? Well, it's none other than Okami! One of the greatest games ever made. And it's also one of the most beautiful games ever made. Yeah, there's a bit of a little thing a bit of a little disclaimer. I'm using the Steam controller on this because the one and only time I've ever played this game was on the Wii with the Wii controller, which is how I would actually recommend you play the game. And I'm trying to keep this on the main screen here, because that way you simulate the paintbrush controls that make up part of the game's combat. I have special the special set of controls downloaded for the Steam controller. I'm assuming it's the same as what we're seeing on here. It's what the recommended one was. But yeah. So we'll go ahead and start a new game, and because this is a long game, it's a very story-driven game, and I'm going to be talking a lot because there's going to be a lot of cutscenes that aren't voiced, as you may have noticed from the opening. Story: Hideki Kamiya. Also, there's going to be a lot of butchering of the Japanese language. I apologize far ahead of it in advance. Most of it's from the fact that I'm American, so I don't speak the language natively. Others are just going to be, I'm going to misread things. Anyway, long ago, a tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. See right there, I almost said groove. I can't even get my own native language correct. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village is not without its dark secrets. Also, it's been a long time since I've actually played the game, so a lot of this I'm trying to remember. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. The body like a mountain, and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks. Its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. One thing I like about that silhouette of Orochi is you see each head has like a different design. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. I had to remember the name there at the same time. Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village, and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. Yeah, I can see that. A wolf and the Hydra. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. the warrior Nagi attempts many times to challenge the wolf. This is something I wanna look up one day, because Nagi, I believe if I'm remembering correctly, Nagi is a type of snake beast in Western culture, and I think Nagi might also be like another meaning for snake or serpent in Asian culture. It's just which I find interesting because Orochi is a snake beast, multi-headed snake beast, but still. But his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. And yes, there's going to be a lot of hanging up over the story at times while I try to get my own diatribes out. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast's cave in place of his beloved. The Nagi and Nami thing could also be a pun, too. Like, Japan, that's one thing I've noticed with Japan, they love their puns. Like, the puns and wordplay. Which, in Japan, it doesn't translate as easily over to American because their language is a lot different than ours. So their puns don't work out nearly as well. But yeah. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home as Nagi stood bravely before the entrance. I love how you see like a building on top of Orochi, like the bell shrine. A beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. Another thing I want to point out: I don't think Orochi in mythology actually has that shrine on his back. I mean, at least from the very few pictures I've seen of him. And yes, for those of you who aren't aware, a lot of this game takes place in Japanese mythology. It is amazing. On and on he sliced well into the moonless night. But Orochi's hide was like steel. The blade left nary a scratch. Another thing I want to point out, this has nothing to do with the mythology, but an interesting diatribe. Steel in Japan was actually insanely rare. And most Japanese blades were actually pretty crap. Because what they had to do, they had to basically sift metals through sand, and so they had a lot of impure blades. So yeah, just want to point that out as like an interesting thing. Like having an actual like steel sword was like a big deal in Japan. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. That would have been a great time for the wolf silhouette to come in. Just saying. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt onward. Shiranui leapt onward to Orochi. Wow, okay, that was a butchering of that. Leapt toward Orochi. Wow. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, readying its fangs for battle. Am I sure I'm not Japanese? 'Cause so far I've butchered Orochi's name once in the English language about 15 times. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Might also be the fact that, I watched a lot of anime as a kid. Like, mostly Dragon Ball Z and Gundam. And Tenchi Muyo, but, So I'm a little more familiar with Japanese language than most other people, I suppose. But most other Americans. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. Bit of foreshadowing there for the game mechanic. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening. A gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. I love how you see the paintbrush come in and just pop up. If you haven't been able to figure out, that's actually part of the game mechanic. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow, but Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. I love how the moon's the only colored object in this. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary, channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms. He leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. Excuse me. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. Apologies, I keep yawning. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. I like how Shiranui's lighter than the other characters. I don't know if that's supposed to signify anything specific, or what it's supposed to signify. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki Village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers... I'm really trying to hold that one in. Erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukiyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace and endless pie. Endless pie. For those of you that don't get the reference, I don't blame you. For those of you that do, hey, how you doing? Great to see old people like me. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. I'm sorry, I keep yawning. 100 years has passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. They were just now getting to the present day. 17 minutes into the first video. This is going to be a bit of a longer video. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend, nothing but a fairy tale. Put it back, put it back, put it back! Oh, you idiot, you just rebirthed the monster! Oh, he who seeks power. He who has broken my bonds. Speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing the whole character acting thing with each dialogue. But also I want to go and mention too, again, going back to Orochi's design, I love how each one of his heads has a different helmet. Like, helmet design. like some of them have like different types of, like they had like different types of spikes, or like one of them had that fanned out design. Kind of similar to a fan, if that's the best way I can describe it. And the game is now loading. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki. Kamiki village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Ooh. Wood sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There's no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years. I've spent protecting this area. Still a little tired. I see. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Since your divine light upon this broken and polluted world, let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. I may have misread parts of that. But yes, we awaken as Amaterasu, goddess of the sun. Okami Amaterasu. Now, from what I understand, Okami in this game is actually kind of a pun, because Okami means wolf, and Kami means god. It does make sense that would be a pun because you are playing a wolf god. Even though I think, as far as I know, none of the mythology Amaterasu has never taken a wolf form. I could be wrong. I'm not the most well versed in this mythology. The only thing I really know about Amaterasu is that she got sad one time, locked herself in a cave, caused an eternal night, and then in a desperate attempt to try to get her out of the cave, the goddess of partying stripped naked, started dancing and acting a fool, and that's how they got Amaterasu out, because she looked and saw the party and went, "Whoa, a naked goddess!" That sounds a little crazy. I'm not kidding. That's actually part of the story. It's a little paraphrasing, but it's such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. Also, Sakuya's butt is exposed. Fairly certain that's not YouTuber friendly. At this point, I don't really care. How delightful to see that the Savior whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demons so many years ago has not changed one bit. And no, there's no way for me to speed up this dialogue right now. I'm going to have to check the options. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. That's me actually sniffing. Excuse me. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon. For those of you who don't know, Nippon is Japan. Like, it's the name of Japan. Like, Japanese name for Japan. There's actually a few production studios, a few animation studios that actually use Nippon in their name. Kind of like how we have here in the States, we have America, and stuff like that, as like American Broadcasting Company for ABC, for one example. But never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. What's this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? I'm just gonna let that audio speak for itself. Phew! What on earth? The little bug has escaped from her bosoms. That's Japan. You again? It's not a bug. It's a boy. It's a little man. Ow! Are you nuts, boy? For a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting. That's all. Are you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug, I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Isun. Isun is probably one of my favorite characters in this game. And yes, it's partly because he's a bit of a perv. And also because he's very small. Isun is very similar to Thumbelina in Western mythology. Very small, tiny little human. As you can tell right here, he's very small, even compared to the human-sized goddess or sprite. Spirit? I think sprite. Same difference, I think, in this situation. And the wolf-sized goddess that's currently growling at him. The wandering artist, Isun. Though I think his story, he has a much more interesting story than Thumbelina does. If I remember correctly, and this could be a different character I'm thinking of, but one of his journeys involves him teaming up with a few animals, going to Oni Island, stealing all the gold from the Onis, which are basically ogres, for lack of a better descriptor. They're ogres, but like the color of their skin represents different things. I think I've never had that confirmed. And his story got really popular during World War II because the Onis basically became analogous of America. He's also part of the basis for Goku from Dragon Ball Z, or rather the original Dragon Ball, as well as Journey to the West was also a big inspiration for that. But Goku's origins of being an alien and was a big influence on Isun. I believe it's Isun. I could be thinking of someone else. Again, I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long until you're bowing before my great brush. Whoa! Huh. Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no? You know, for a small guy, he does good pictures. What's with you, Furball? You look kind of down in the dumps. Actually, you look kind of familiar. Got it! You look just like that statue of Shiranui. She just tried to eat Isu. Well, what do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Isun. Don't make me use my prized sword, Denkamaru, against you. If I remember correctly, Denkamaru is actually a sewing needle. At least in this game. At least in this game's reference. Because he's so small, he has to have like, he can use like regular ordinary objects as like different things. What's that growling sound? Why is it so dark anyway? Oh great God, Amaterasu. I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees returned to normal, huh? That Sakio girl sure said some weird stuff. The villager spirits are being kept inside the fruit. That's the fruit that girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored. But it's awfully high up there, and if you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap. We better get some. There we go. Now we got the gameplay. So we use the analog stick to move. Right analog stick will move the camera, but whenever we see the cross down here in the middle, we can't move the camera. What in the world? There's something blocking the road leading back to the village. Am I still dreaming? Oh, now I can speed up the dialogue. Let me see if I can. Okay. There we go, okay. So, start brings up your fan menu. Select brings up this menu, which... I'm going to turn that on. Loading screen minigames. Let me see if I can find... Nope. Sound? Nope. They're not giving me... I don't know what the filter is. Let's get... Yeah, okay. Yeah, so A jumps. Now you notice as we move around we kind of have... Well, not as we move around. As we land we have grass. I think that's pretty cool. B barks. X does a dash attack, and Y we can dig. Now, there's not a whole lot of uses for digging right now, but I think it's later on. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and go in here. I think from now on we should be able to speed up the dialogue. It's only when you're at the beginning of the game. Where are we? Got awfully quiet all of a sudden. I don't remember any place like this in the village. Oh, we better keep our eyes peeled. You can use the right pad to look around. LB changed your point of view. Oh, you really look so helpless. Are you gonna be okay? Oh boy. Oh. Okay. So, that's a little weird. It's gonna take some getting used to with the... Oh, but I can just... Okay. Yeah. So, on the Steam controller, it's a little weird because you kind of have to hold it like you do an actual controller, but because it's a pad, not an actual controller, it's a little difficult to use. Right here, the saves mirror. Hold on, that's an origin mirror. They say once your reflection appears on its surface, your memories will be stored in the mirror for all eternity. Well, to put it shortly, you can save your progress here. Wink, wink. And let me give you a little advice. You should save a number of game files. That way you can always go back if you get stuck on something. Gotta be prepared, especially while you're still learning the ropes. It's also very useful when your little sister saves over your files, so always make sure to save on one file and then save somewhere where no one else will think to look. That never actually happened to me, by the way. I don't have a little sister, but one of my friends started doing that when his little sister would play his games. Look at all those pots just waiting to be broken. You bust them, there might be something good inside. Press X to bust them with your head. That would be square on a PlayStation controller. There you go, my furry friend. You can use that anytime you see something you can break. I believe if they're positioned right, you can hold down the button. Let me see if I can get this right. If you can aim yourself correctly. I might just switch to a PlayStation controller. You can, not right now, obviously, but later. I mean, you might need a multiple, like press it multiple times to hit multiple items. But I could have sworn you could just hold it down and it'll bash through. Whoa, hold on there, Furball. Get a load of that. That chest looks mighty tempting. Let's go check it out. Getting up that high ought to be a piece of cake. Press A to jump, then press A again to wall jump. And make sure you press it firmly so you jump really high. So yeah. So you tap it, hold it down. That's the same with this. Oh god. Ugh. Okay, I gotta get it. There we go. Okay. I knew you could do it. They say good luck is found in high places. So keep your eyes peeled. We don't want to miss any treasure. So is that why Nintendo leaves luck to heaven? For those that don't know, leave luck to heaven is actually what Nintendo translates out to be. I think what Nintendo translates to be. Which, granted, leaving luck to heaven has kind of been their bread and butter for. Okay. And just bash that to open it. You've obtained Holy Bone S. I believe the Holy Bone, restores your energy. So, much like in Zelda, which, by the way, you'll be hearing that a lot, you have a health bar that is very similar to hearts. It's called Solar Energy. You start with 3 Solar Energy, and I believe each Solar Energy has 4 parts to it. I could be wrong. We could just have 2. In addition, while we're here, we also have ink pots, which we'll get into a little bit later. Astral pouches, which is basically like a fairy, and your purse, which is how much gold you can hold. Or not gold, how much yen. So yeah. By the way, just as a reminder, hit start to access your fan menu. This gives you access to your equipment, which we'll be getting eventually. Your tools, which is where we'll find holy bones and a bunch of other useful stuff. Just as a bit of a disclaimer, this was made by Clover Studios, who later on becomes Platinum Studios. So if you see a lot of stuff that's very familiar with Platinum games, yeah, that's why. So over here, I can't remember what this is. I think these are just your abilities that you get, and then this is your logbook, travel guide, your bestiary, just various different items of interest. Kind of like a collector's guide, I guess you could say. And then this is your map, and then this exits and closes the fan. Or you can just press B to get out. Looks like the bridge is out. It shouldn't be so hard. Amaterasu, was it? That's kind of long. Why don't I call you Ami? Listen, Ami, ever heard of the spirits of the brush? Good brushwork has its own soul. At least that's what they say. One thing I want to mention, I love how the dialogue box keeps pointing towards the character even when they're bouncing around. So you see the little dots bouncing up and down. I just love that little touch. Just watch. It'd take all day to explain. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? I'm not doing any of this, by the way. Nice, huh? Just a little technique I've mastered called rejuvenation. It's one of my many brush techniques that use divine power. It's a brush god power that can restore broken or missing things. I practiced really hard just to master this one technique, but there are 13. Each one is the power of one of the 13 brush gods. Originally, all 13 were a single powerful deity. When the deity died, his power was split into 13 separate gods. The gods now dwell within objects all around us, but god or no god, how could anyone have the power to master all 13? First of all, I gotta change something here in the controller settings, I believe. No. Camera control, there we go. Invert X and Y axis. Okay, so may only have to invert the Y axis, hopefully. River of the Heavens. The River of the Heavens? They mean the fabled Stardust River? But I sure don't see anything like that around here. It couldn't be that little puddle over there, could it? I mean, this? Oh no. Yeah, that's just... It's not a river at all. That's just a puddle. By the way, you can't jump when you're in water. Yeah, kind of sucks. But it makes sense, you know. River of the Heavens. Oh, we are. I believe if you dash, you get a little bit of a speed boost if you keep running. Wow, look at the stars twinkle. I haven't seen such a beautiful nighttime sky in ages. Hey look, are those stars forming a pattern or is it just me? This is probably one of my favorite concepts of this game. So I just have to draw the missing star. Oh, they don't get... Let us play! Ah! Looks like I'm just not ready to draw missing stars. Hey, press RB to hold the brush and press X to draw. I sure spent a heck of a lot of time practicing that. I love this music right here. Oh, so great. But yeah, if we press RB... If we wait long enough, he'll repeat the thing again. That happens a lot. I just drew a dot to make a star. Why didn't it work? I just spent a heck of a lot of time practicing that. We press RB, we can move with the control stick. It's going to be really weird. And then X. And now we made a star. Uh, one fun fact I'm gonna have to show you next time we meet one of the brush gods. You can make several dots that aren't in the right spot, and the dots that don't belong will just fly away like shooting stars. Yomigami. Or if it isn't Mother Amaterasu. I apologize for not contacting you sooner during these long years. Having never forgotten you, I, Yomigami, God of Restoration, have eagerly awaited this day when we could again meet. While you were away, the 13 spirits of the brush that you... Excuse me. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Anyway, the 13 gods of the brush that you once possessed, including myself, have been scattered across this land of men and now lie in disarray. I became a constellation and managed to survive until now. The time has come for you to seek out and reunite all the techniques. Your power is what is needed to restore the dried riverbed of the heavens and renew the flow of stardust. Ooh. Sorry if it seemed like I was yawning there. I was actually just breathing. Yes, breathing in the power of... Wow, that was Yomigami, the god of rejuvenation. Wait, so you have the power of rejuvenation now? Can you really use it to restore the river of heavens? That would mean you're as good as a brush as you truly are. Nah, it couldn't be true. Who else could master this incredible god technique? So whenever we hold RB now, we can pull out our brush. And you see over here in the corner where I have the brush pointed is our ink pots. Whenever we draw, by pressing X, huh? Somebody used a celestial brush technique while I wasn't looking. Oh, we gotta actually use a technique. I'm not drawing some stardust would get the river flowing again. Nah, it's one thing to fix a bridge, but fixing a starry river? There's no way you could pull a stunt like that. Hint. So yeah, that's what they're trying to get us to do. So if we hold X, we can just kind of repeat what Isun did and just kind of scribble in willy-nilly here. And after a while, boom! Whoa! A river of stardust! So this really must be the river of the heavens. But what I really want to know is who the heck drew that darn thing? So yeah, I don't think we can draw more of the... Oh, we can. Yeah, because you can see where it's all dust, or it's all like smoky. That's where we're dusting in. And I think we just finished. Can we do any more by any chance? You'll notice that our ink pots are draining. Whatever ink pot you're currently on will automatically refill after a while, but it will not refill the rest of the pots. So I believe you'll need to get... Oh no, it does, okay. You obtained an astral pouch. Look what you found, Furball! This astral pouch here is amazing. It can swallow up lots of food. Then when it's full, it can revive its owner if he or she dies. Let's start feeding it whatever the food we can find around here. So yeah, usually you'll find stuff like peaches or a wholesome apples. Nectar-filled sour apple. Fills astral pouch a little bit. Consumed a peach. Juicy and fragrant peach. Fills astral pouch a little bit. Peaches apparently are a big thing in Japan. Consumed orange. Oranges with sharp citrus taste. Fills astral pouch a little bit. I believe after 100 fruits, you fill up your astral pouch. Oops. Okay, so we can't do anything with that yet. Okay. What you just saw me do is I tried to do a brush technique that we didn't have yet. I wasn't sure if we had it yet or not. Excuse me. We'll be getting it soon. Just remember, we have to get it to progress. Let me go back here real quick. Huh. Okay. You guys noticed that too. Like, the loading screen is giving us an option to skip? Okay. So it's not giving us anything to do. I know that has to do the mini game. It automatically skips after a while anyway. There you go. I think when you attack, you get to keep a bit of your speed boost. So there we go. And then you automatically go faster after time anyway. So I probably should mention we're in the Celestial Plain. Fountain of Nagi. Nagi? What's his name doing here? Interesting. See, oh, there we go. Consumes dumplings. Doughy balls made from grain. Fills astral pouch a little bit. Usually they're doughy balls filled with various things. Though sometimes it can just be a dumpling. Or just be a ball of... Is this the legendary shrine? We must be in the cave of Nagi. Legendary hero Nagi is enshrined here. He vanquished evil 100 years ago with the help of his white wolf Shiranui. Or excuse me, the white wolf Shiranui. First the river of the heavens and now this place. Where the heck are we, Furball? Boy, this place is a wreck. See, that sword is in really bad shape. The gods sure didn't do much to protect this place. Maybe they can't. Maybe the power of the gods is very limited. And of course, because we have new power, we can just draw a straight line and create a sword. That really was your brushwork all this time? How'd you get so good? Exactly who are you anyway? Hey, there's another constellation. This one looks like Oh, let's listen to music. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's such good music. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna draw a few little stars there. I don't think this one's gonna do anything. And oh, it does. And you see them just shoot off. I love doing that. I love just like filling the screen with stars. And we have a little mouse with a gigantic sword. Tachigami. Wait, hold on, is that Takagami? Tachigami. Yeah. Tachigami, isn't that the little toys? I think it's spelled differently, but well. If it isn't Mother Amaterasu, it's been a long time with all these monsters around. The only place I could hide was in this shrine dedicated to ancient heroes. If there's anything I can do to assist you in your endeavors, I am at your service. Make good use of this sword, as it was designed to conquer evil. I think he's supposed to be a mouse. I could be wrong. Now we got our second brush technique. Hey, that was the god Tachigami, master of the power slash technique. Wait a minute. If you're getting all these powers, then you're just like that Shiranui. You know, the wolf who fought and died alongside the great Nagi? When Shiranui died, the wolf's power was split into 13 brush gods. This is crazy. Shiranui and Nagi? It's just like the legend. Well, anyway, I've never seen this power slash technique myself. How about showing off your stuff on that boulder over there? Let me see. Slice it in half by drawing a single line. I don't believe it till I see it. So yeah, this is what I tried to do earlier. Just draw a straight line, and there you go. Wow! Wow! I didn't think you had in you, Furball. I'm not even in the same league as you. I guess I really overestimated myself. Hey, Furball? Amaterasu? I've made up my mind. If you're sure New Year Reborn, that means you can master all 13 techniques, right? In that case, I think I'll tag along until I'm as good as you. Lucky you. Listen, he's trying to change my mind. There's no stopping me once I made a decision. But enough about me. Now that you've mastered Power Slash, you can cut down that thing Sakio was talking about. Let's go back and give it a shot. So yeah, now we have a quest arrow. And there we go. Now one of the advantages of Power Slash is it breaks everything that you can normally break with your headbutt. And more. As you can tell, we can't do anything to that rock. Oops. Oh, that was just doing the wrong thing. So, apparently if you hold Y, you can draw a very thick line. Not entirely sure if that does anything. I'm trying to remember if you need a thick line for anything. But real quick, I want to see if we can even do... I don't think we can, but we saw this earlier. Nope. And can we? We can draw plants. I think this is one of the abilities we have from the very beginning. So you can just kind of dot the place and it draws some plants. Yeah, that was one of ours up there. Just what the? Where'd they come from? Whatever. Draw first, ask questions later, right? You know that divine instrument you have on your back. Well, press X to use that power against them. So yeah, here we have some demons. Look, Okami. Once you've caught them off guard when they're black and white, they're easy prey for your brush no matter how nasty they are. Grab a brush and Power Slash. Okay, and there you go. Got this one turn just a bit. There you go. Kill him. Covered him in ink. There you go. So yeah, you defeated the demons. You obtained ink bottle. Bottles full of ink fills one of Amaterasu's ink pots. You can use those when you're in the middle of combat. And at the end of each battle, we get graded on our time and our damage and such. That gives us a little bit more extra yen. Okay. Might have to change the controls on this. But I decided to stick with the... As you can tell, I didn't do exactly the best. I wasn't exactly the best at drawing the line, but it did, Excuse me. I'm so sorry for yawning. But it does still keep track of it fairly well. And you can knock trees down. Oh, held the wrong button down. Whoops. I have no clue what I was trying to draw there. So yeah. It's a fun power to have. And here we are getting ready to fight another battle against these demons. So you see down in the corner they have some health and... Ooh, ginseng. Roots bursting with nutrients. Spirit globe. Humanity's faith made solid restores a little bit of your solar energy or your health. And there you go. Consumed potato. Dry but satisfyingly flavorful. I love potatoes. They're not dry. I don't know why someone would say they're dry. As you can see, we did really good and we got a lot of money for that. And some bonus money for completing it on time. I mean, 400 yen isn't exactly a whole lot of time, but still. There we go. Just wanted to show off that. Yeah, so each of your attacks takes up about 1 ink pot. And when you're in the middle of combat, you might need some extra ink pots. So it's always good to try to store up as much as you can. in terms of the in terms of your tools. I could have sworn. Yeah, and you know we're also missing the solar. Oh, those aren't the. Okay, those are different. I'm sorry, I misinterpreted the. Like I said, I repeat myself. It's been a long time since I played this game, and I actually only played it once. Unfortunately, funny story. I originally got this game because I saw Chugga Conroy's Let's Play of it. And then, or not this game. I got the Wii version. And I got this game because I saw it was out for PC. I was like, yeah, you know what? Platinum Games have done pretty good with their stuff so far. There we go. So you can see it's a little bit more lenient than you'd expect it to be. If you don't, let me see how. It might not. Ooh, Chinese cabbage. On the simple side, but tasty. And you'll notice that we ran out of ink entirely, which took out our god powers, turned us into just a white wolf. There you go. And get ready for something incredibly satisfying. Multi-hitting all the pots. And I just want to check back here. Make sure. Okay, there's nothing back here. So let's head on. Yep, before we go. Save. Now I believe once we leave the River of Heavens, we will not be able to come back in here, at least for a very long time. I could be wrong. But this is basically just the tutorial area. And we'll go ahead and skip that. Real quick, I want to check something. Oh, no, nah. I'll forget if I don't. Okay, so the first thing we want to do. Actually, no, I think I'll save this for the next episode. So, now that we're done with the tutorials, we can get on to the main game. So in the next episode, we will cut open the fruit that bears the spirits and souls of Kamiki Village. Excuse me. And then we will continue on, and hopefully I won't be yawning so much. But until then, I'll see you guys later.